Hi everyone, Louise here. I want to start by saying a big thank you to Atlanta, to Amanda, Cynthia and Dave. Thank you so much for replying to my last email. It was really great to hear from you. In some cases, I hadn't heard from you in 2 years, so it was really great to connect again. I recently came back from a bit of a Mum's Gone Wild trip. No, I shouldn't call it that. That's embarrassing. A bit of a holiday with my friends. There were 8 of us. We went to Brizzy and left 17 kids at home. It was just brilliant. And it had been so long since we'd spent that much time together away for 5 days. So I think day 1, I wore these lovely white shorts. By day 4, I couldn't even do them up. So it was definitely indulgent, which was fantastic. But speaking of friends, recently been supporting Bupa with their Q1 focus on social wellbeing, and what I loved is one of the masterclasses, which was about superpowering social connections. Bupa invited all the friends and family members of their employees, which I just thought was brilliant. You know, a great way to spread the love. So if you're in an organisation, maybe consider doing that as well. On the business front, still lots of virtual masterclasses. I sort of had this hypothesis that we'd be going back into face-to-face delivery, but it hasn't really happened yet. Still lots of demand for virtual delivery right through to September even. So just to let everyone know, I am open for face-to-face delivery. I'm looking forward to getting back, but you know, virtual's still an option as well. Book update. I love giving you a book update because it makes me feel quite accountable to all of you, but I have settled on a working title. Could change because it's a working title, but for the moment it's Relationships, How to Change the Relationships. Oh, hang on. No, I've stuffed it up. Hang on. What is it? Oh God, that's bad. Relationships, How to Change Your Relationships with People Who Matter. Gosh, I've got to get that right. So let me know what you think of that working title as well. As most of you will know, you know, Intime as a business started on the back of my personal experience, and so we launched with our first offering a few years ago now that supported working parents and their relationship. And then soon after, you know, COVID hit, we really moved fast into the space of social wellbeing. And now I'm very excited that we've taken the next step in our evolution, and we're having a really strong focus on workplace relationships. And so we've got a new program that's available now, which is called Connected Together and Connected Apart. And of course, that's it for teams, and it's to help navigate connection, motivation, and performance in hybrid ways of working. So get in touch with me if that's something that you think is of interest and something that your team could benefit from as well. Now, I've recently finished reading Will Smith's book. I won't do a book review, and given I'm writing a book as well, I'm very hesitant to say anything bad about anyone else's work because I know how difficult it is to write a book. I will say though, for those of you who are interested, I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to read more about the juicy bits about his relationship with Jada and his family, but also that's none of my business. But there's lots of great sort of lessons in the book as well. One of them that really stood out to me was a story that Will tells of his father, who he calls Daddyo. So when Will was 12, he and his brother Harry were tasked with building this brick wall, like a massive brick wall. I think it was 5 by 9 meters high, or 5 meters high by 9 meters long. And so he was tasked by building that from scratch, brick by brick. So they worked on that every day after school. They had to dig a hole that was 6 feet deep just to create the foundations. And then every day after school, they were mixing concrete, picking up the bricks and attempting to lay and create that wall. And at one point, Will says that he's like, there's no wall. All I can see is a big hole, and that's all that there's ever going to be. And his dad says, just focus on that one brick, lay that one brick that you've got in your hand perfectly, and then move on to that next brick. And I think, that's been a really great story for me to reflect on over the last month, especially with so much that's been going on at the moment, just focusing on those small acts, those small habits, focusing on inputs, on process as a way to sort of gain momentum, whether that's through when you're building a relationship with someone at home, focusing on a very small thing, or whether it's through work and getting some stuff done as well. That's probably it for me. Otherwise, yeah, I guess my ask for you is get in touch, especially if you think that your team needs a bit of a reset in terms of motivation and connection. And otherwise, I'd love to hear back from you. So reply back to the email and stay well.